Welcome food fans, picky eaters, the flavor curious, and everyone in between. Nothing makes good food better than good conversation, and your table is ready. Welcome back to another episode of the Food for Thoughtcast with your hosts, Melissa Reagan and Steven Gonzalez, but you can call them Chef. All right, let's get this episode started.
Hey there, food fans. Welcome back to the Food for Thoughtcast with me, your host, Melissa Reagan, and my co-host with the most, Chef Steven Gonzalez. How are you doing, Chef?
Good. How's it going?
Oh, I couldn't be more excited. Today, we are joined by James and Alena Mahoney from Madam Mocktail. Hi, how are you?
Hello. Hey.
Hello. Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for being here with us today.
Yeah, thanks for being here. How's it going? What's the weather like in Pittsburgh today?
It's nice out.
Pretty
High
good.
70, I think, today.
Much different than what we're used to. Yeah. So we've had a pretty tough winter, as most of the Northeast has. But
And the groundhog saw a shadow, so 6 more weeks of winter.
It's insane. Steve can tell you that I'm always complaining about being cold. This is probably the first day of nice weather that North Carolina has had in 3 months. And then all of a sudden I'm like, it's kind of hot.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. We'll take hot
Texas,
over cold. At least I
Over the cold.
Yeah, you can't win. Steve, what's it doing in Texas today?
I think the high is supposed to be like 85 or something like that, and sunny, so no complaints.
Yeah, good for you.
It sounds beautiful. Well, James and Alena, we start every single episode by asking each other and our guests what was the most amazing thing you ate. Steve, I'm going to put you in the hot seat.
Oh, so you know what? The most amazing thing we had to eat this past week was we made some T-bone steaks, prime T-bone steaks, and we made a romesco sauce from scratch. Of course, you got like the bell peppery kind of roasted tomato, almond, flavors all together. Came out perfect. So
Nice.
yeah, sous vide that T-bone, get a good hard sear on it. Came out perfect mid-rare. Oh yeah,
Very good.
all you need.
Sounds amazing. Well, today, and for the listeners, James and Alena are joining us from the beverage part of the industry. And so I would also open it up to what was the most amazing thing you drank this week. But go ahead, either one.
Best thing I drank. I mean, Madam Mocktail.
Of course. It's this is
we
where you
mixed it
plug.
up with a few non-alcohol spirits.
Yeah.
So we had a true mocktail mixed with Madam Mocktail. I think, what was the gin that we used?
You used a rum.
Or was it a
Remember
rum?
Ritual.
Rum, and
Yeah.
then I mixed it with
Chili, the Moscow Mule.
the Moscow Mule, and I did it in a copper mug, a traditional copper mug, and it tasted fantastic. We have real ginger from Whole Foods that we got, and a nice lime over it, and it tasted
I'm
good.
adding green food coloring to our mojito this week for St. Patrick's Day.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's this week, right?
There,
What?
yeah.
That's this week, right?
Next
Saturday
week.
or Sun or
Something like that.
Or,
Right?
yeah.
Wow. Hard to
already.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Crazy.
Already. That sounds incredible because there's nothing I love more than like a food pun, but then I love like a food theme. And I'm like, if we're making things match for holidays, I'm in. I love it so much.
Alena's the chef in this relationship, which it pairs well nicely because when we had our drinks made, she's traveled all over the world. So her palate is far more defined than mine. I mean, I haven't left the United States or lived anywhere outside of the United States. So, the flavors that we brought to Madam Mocktail really correlate with what she kind of had in mind with our palate. So it really was created by what she wanted, some differentials and
Flavors that
flavor.
I've tried.
Bold flavors, yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Nice. It's just no better way to like stretch your palate than kind of getting out of your, physically, right, out of your comfort zone or out of your, your home area or whatever it may be. I made bolognese yesterday, so I needed to kind of clean out the fridge, and my freezer, this is the problem. I didn't grow up in an ingredients house. I grew up in a like it's ready to eat house. But now my freezer is full of all the things that need to be cooked and I don't want to. So I made bolognese yesterday with a lupini bean pasta, like a spaghetti, and ground meat. And it was kind of an empty the cabinet, empty the jar type situation. So I had some crushed tomatoes. I had some basil that was on its last legs. I had some artichoke hearts. I had some ground meat, caramelized onion. It was delicious.
Nice.
Artichoke hearts. That sounds good.
Yeah. Otherwise, what I've eaten this week is protein shakes and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So that was literally the most.
Get it in where you
Breakfast
can.
champions.
Get it in where you can fit it in. That was literally the most amazing thing I've eaten this week.
If I didn't live with her, I'd be eating Uncrustables and Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was ready to tell you the best dish we had. I made a Mongolian beef dish.
That sounds so good.
That was good.
Yeah, with green onions, fresh green onions. It was really good. And shiitake mushrooms.
Poison sauce.
Yeah.
I love shiitake mushrooms. They're so good. They have like that nutty, meaty, rich flavor. I love
I was gonna say, there's a lot of umami that comes out of those.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to get right into it. So James and Alena, can you just tell us, how did Madam Mocktail come about?
You can go ahead. I did it last time.
Yeah, absolutely. So
this is like the meat cake for your business.
This was actually back in 2021. Alena had an Instagram handle called Madam Mocktail, which she would go around and talk about different restaurants that were carrying mocktails prior to mocktails being kind of the craze that they are. So it was more of just a hobby.
And like a reviewing page, like Instagram. I was just shocked that I got the name.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fast forward 2 years, we met, and we moved very quickly in our relationship. We got married within 3 months? 3 months after meeting.
Oh, that's
so
terrifying.
We married at the end of 2023, and we were still going out. We were drinking. I ended up getting sober. I've been sober for about a year now, and during that time,
congratulations.
Thank you. And that name sort of came up again, and I was sort of asking her what we were doing with it, and I thought to myself, wow, what a good business we can start. Let's make our own mocktails, because anytime we go out to dinner, I would either order a cherry Coke or like a bottled water. And me being an entrepreneur, I'm still in a lot of social settings. I do a lot of talks. So I just wanted something that sort of fit in, almost like a placebo. So we decided to take the name Madam Mocktail and turn it into, the business that we have today. And now we have a beverage company.
It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, the idea came to fruition in January 2025, and we came to market November of 2025, November 1st. So we were already in stores.
Well, like that week and last week of October, we went to the bottling, but it didn't come.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we had them in Salem. We did one Halloween post right before.
Yeah. But we actually had pre-orders.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, the dog grooming business that we ventured into, a gentleman works in the food industry, and we kind of followed his path for retail locations. And it just so happened a lot of those retail locations turned into national chains. And now we didn't even understand that hospitality was going to be a big part of it prior to when we started. So we have many restaurants that are ordering locally. We're now on Cisco's website, where national restaurants are going to start to order. We have interest from some very big names that we won't say until an order comes, but you'd know who they are. And it's just moving at the speed of light. So neither of us had a background in the beverage world, so it was a quick learning process. Luckily, we've partnered with some consultants that had some real life experience that really helped us get from point A to point Z, and did it in a manner that I feel we probably couldn't have done it ourselves.
It definitely kept us on track. Week following up. And
from finding co-packers to bottling to distribution to wholesalers, ingredients, sourcing, all of that. It was, we learned probably more in the last year about any industry that I've been in 10 months than anything, that I've spent, decades in prior to this. So yeah, it's been pretty awesome as a husband and wife team too. to get it off the ground.
Well, first, I just have to say again, and from both Steve and I, congratulations on your sobriety. That's a huge deal.
Thank you.
And I think this sounds like an amazing journey. I can't believe we're almost in on the ground floor of this. Not even been quite a year, right?
Like, it's wild. Yeah, no, it hasn't.
Cool.
And idea year, but we didn't even start with a company we consulted with, BevSource, who really helped other larger brands get to market. Alena did her due diligence on who we wanted to utilize, and thank God, knock on wood, we did utilize them. They were exceptionally, well. Yeah. They were in the Northeast, so they were easy to visit, and we went through rounds of tasting, and with Alena's creativity and palate,
I knew what I wanted.
We designated flavors that were consistent and true to what we wanted. We didn't want to put out a product that we were standing behind that didn't taste good, because there's a lot of mocktails out there, so-called mocktails. They're just we
would buy like a variety pack and just sit there and try them and just be like, oh my god, I can't finish this, I can't finish that, and it just
like flavored water.
Yeah, it gave us more like a little push to just do what we were doing even more.
Now, when you all rolled out, did you all roll out with 4 different flavors? Did you all like start with one, and like what was that like?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we started with 4. It was gonna be 3, but then somehow I snuck it in there with BevSource. I was like, it's gonna be like the same texture and same carbonation and everything, and they were like, okay, we'll throw a 4th flavor in there.
Because we wanted to sell a 4-pack. A lot of our competitors were selling 4-packs, and we wanted to start with cans. I'm glad we did start with bottles, though, because the hospitality industry really took us on, because they're utilizing these as mixers as well. So they're serving mocktails as, mocktails, but it can also, be a mixer, which is great for a lot of the family restaurants that want to serve mocktails. We did a theme, Naughty and Nice, in Christmas for a lot of different restaurants, and it seemed to work out pretty well. So the bottles really came in handy. We are probably going to do a can run economically for when we go direct to consumer, which we are doing direct to consumer, but it's just a lot for shipping. Alena was invited on HSN, QVC, and for us to really kind of economically justify it, we want to go to like 8.4 ounce cans for the shipping aspect of it, just make it easier for like arenas, stadiums, which also have shown interest locally and nationally into carrying us as well. And glass bottles are great for what they are, and I love the way that they look. Specifically in retail, we want to go to cans. We want to have a hybrid approach for both of them.
Yeah. You kind of answered a little bit of my question, but I was going to ask you, like, are you okay with people using your product with alcohol, even though you're sober yourself? Like, I just didn't know if you had any specific, like, you're like, hey, it's not really what we're going for. It's not our ethos. You know what I mean? Like,
so yeah, I mean, yeah, and I'll answer that, openly. I'm kind of, it's my lifestyle, and like we're kind of like the sober curious company. You know what I mean? Alena still drinks. I chose personally, I'm 46 years old. You know what I mean? It just was time. I was finding myself, I didn't have energy. It was an important part of my life to make that decision. But we're not really pushing it down people's throats. There's a lot of organizations out there that do that, and God bless them, it works. I mean, I have family members that have been in AA for 20 plus years, and alcohol just doesn't work for them. But we also want to appeal to different crowds as well. At the end of the day, I think if you can just drink responsibly, mindfully, and it really, we don't really have a problem with anyone that drinks, because it is socially acceptable, and it just can be done in a more responsible manner. And if we have mocktails that can be utilized with drinks, this could also be an avenue for them to drink more mindfully or
space it out in between, have a mocktail and then a cocktail, or however you want to do it, but just to being open to the idea, sober curiosity.
Right.
Yeah.
And with products like this, I mean, there's a lot of different interpretations on what you can mix with this, things like that. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like, if you're getting the product into the customer's hands, they enjoy it, they can put whatever twist they want to it, as long as they enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we didn't realize, I mean, obviously our the biggest goal we had was to be a bold flavor, to be a good tasting drink, because that's all of our competitors that we tried, there were like hit or miss, and we just wanted all of our flavors to be good and bold. And
ours actually look like mocktails. You know, a lot of the competitors, and not to talk bad about them, they're more of like a sparkling water with a splash of juice.
Yeah.
So ours, if you actually put, you know, like our Cosmo or our Moscow Mule, you can see like it
there's
actually
like a
sits.
cloudy texture to it, and it sits well in a martini glass. Like when I envision a Cosmo, this is what it looks like to me.
Right.
Not like a sparkling seltzer with a splash of red cranberry juice.
I think that inclusion aspect is so important, because a lot of people don't realize like how big this social, you know, this social activity part is, like in either somebody's sobriety journey, or like it's even like I smoked cigarettes for a really long time, and it's like you want to still be in that group of people, right? Like there's an addiction component to that, but it's also about like belonging and like having this habit and this activity. I'll joke with people that I didn't know how to drive correctly after I stopped smoking, because I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do with my other hand, but it didn't have a cigarette in it. You know, but it's interesting. Like I've done dry January. I kind of hate it as a concept, because I feel like people wear it as a badge of honor when it's really like a legitimate struggle and a disease for other people. And so I'm like,
right. And if people slip up, they like get so like frustrated or angry with themselves.
Yeah, right.
And it's like you can try again in February.
it's like I hate that idea, because it's like really life and death for some people, and so I hate to like belittle anybody's journey, but I think it's really becoming this important social movement too. So I'm like, you know, I can kind of see both sides, but it's interesting, right? Like, so I've done it a couple of times. I think Steve, you've done it a couple of times, right?
Yeah.
And it sucks, because you go and you're like, you go to your local bar, and you're like, can you make me a mocktail? And it's just the highball with the liquor taken out. So you're like, oh, cool. I got a club soda with lime in it. And you charged me real money. You know, like,
that people are paying the same amount, you know.
So I'd rather pay the same amount for actual like mocktail, you know, not just a sparkling like you're saying.
And bartenders used to get so put off when you'd ask for a mocktail. I remember that they would just
something besides, you know, that didn't have alcohol.
Right. It'd be like, oh, this guy, you know, he's a designated driver. But
taking up a seat at my my bar. You
know? But a lot of, I don't know if you've seen the trends. I mean, alcohol sales have plummeted. So bars are now adapting to bringing in mocktails, because not only the Gen Z population, you know, people of my age, people are just making different choices. And whether that's more responsible, maybe that's more, you know, NA compared to, you know, more alcohol, that's great, you know, for us. And that really wasn't our driving force. It just so happened we got into the market right at the right time. So
I just think it always goes back to our good like flavors too, because like a lot of the restaurants just tried them and they were like, oh my gosh, like we could have this on tap, and that would just be our Cosmo. You know? I mean, it just hits so well. So, and our lemon drop too, like the top two that are like made all the time. Lemon drop martini and Cosmo.
And you're right. Like the NA, it's not a movement. Like it's grown quite a bit. Like I remember a couple years ago, one of our guests was a bartender out of St. Louis, and he mentioned it. And I can remember initially I used to think like, oh, they're just sugary drinks, but they've come around quite a bit. Like they're really, really good. Yeah. And it's more than just a sugary drink. You know, like once I actually tasted them, once I actually did a little bit of research about them, like they're really good. So how many test rounds did you all have to do for your flavors when it came to, you know, trying to find the right, I guess, flavor profile for each one?
We did like 3 or 4.
Yeah, there were 3 total. And I think they might have done an extra one for us because we really wanted to nail down like the cloudiness of Cosmo. But they were pretty intense. They sent us like a case of each. We had family members. We were, you know, Alena's really creative and she's been documenting a lot of it. So we did, we signed like NDAs with like family members and friends to kind of like, you know, get their feedback and everything.
Secret.
The reactions and knowing it through each like step. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I think we nailed it. They did a really good job. And kudos to BevSource for really, taking the time with us, because I'm sure they get a lot of interested parties that want to start a beverage company, and they probably looked at us, hey, we had a little bit of extra money, let's start a beverage company. Then I don't think they realized the success we'd have as quickly as we did.
Might have, because they really were rooting for us from day one.
Yeah. I think we have a good story. You know what I mean? I think Alena brings the creative mindset to it. I've had the acumen over the years. I've been an entrepreneur for a while, so I think we meshed pretty well. And even on the phone calls leading up to a lot of the conversations we had with them, they probably felt it, and hopefully that mirrors what you guys are seeing too, because we do have some excitement, and I think a lot of people see that when we sit with them.
James, if you don't mind me asking, what did you do before? Because I love when one career can inform the next. Like I love when it works out that way. I love to hear that for anybody. So what was it?
So I started my career in medical device sales. I did that for close to 15 years. And then I started a medical distribution company that was national. During the pandemic, I sold a lot of different tests throughout the United States. I got into lighting sales, which you would think had nothing to do with that, but just because of my distribution network, I was working with a lot of these larger companies, hospitals, nursing homes, all of which, this is right when lighting rebates became big, and people, didn't have the money to upgrade to LED. There were a lot of government programs, mostly on the East Coast, that government was giving subsidies to where it made medium to small to actually large size. I worked with Fortune 500 companies all the way down to mom and pop shops that were getting LED lighting for, a quarter of the price of what they would have typically paid. So I kind of utilized that network, went from medical to lighting. And then most recently we got into dog grooming and now beverage. So
that's like the most
just
winding,
like throw a dart.
Insane journey.
A lot of pivots, but I think, they were done in a way that I think the timing is always, right for us, it seems. And
and getting sober and everything like that's really where the Mocktail thing came in.
Yeah, it was a lifestyle change, and honestly, I wasn't really passionate about it. The medical was great because I felt like I was helping, people live longer. I was dealing with pacemakers, and I was helping surgeons in those types of operations. And it other than doing the surgery, I was right side by side with the surgeon, so I felt a little bit important. But I think with this really is something that I can look at myself and be proud of, and my children can sort of see a legacy. Up until that point, I don't really feel like I did much. I mean, I think with the pandemic, I helped, get some DME, to important places when people needed PPE and things of that sort. But other than that, I feel like this is really helping people change their lives, and it's something that I'm pretty proud of, and I think
I'm extremely proud of.
Considering it was her idea, and she's actually the logo too. So we've made that. Rather put her face on something than mine.
So how did you decide on the 4 flavors? Was it like things that were favorites?
So my go-to was always a lemon drop martini. I just love drinking those, and I knew that one had to be exact. And actually that was the first when they sent the first round of flavors, that one was done immediately after the first round. I was like, don't touch it, that's it. And then all the other 3, like, they took a few more rounds, the mojito taking the longest.
The mojito is my personal favorite. It has a hint of ginger in it.
No, mint.
Or mint. I'm sorry, mint. But it's not like a overwhelming, like, toothpastey, like spearmint type. It's like it blends very nicely.
It's hard to get mint right in a liquid form without
and
without it tasting artificial.
Well, that's the thing, is like a lot of our competitors, I don't even want to call them that. The other mocktails out there. They're all doing a great job just even putting things out there in this market. But the mint would taste like a fake chewing gum or a toothpaste, and it would sit in your mouth and linger. And I was like, we had to really work hard on that it tasted like fresh mint. And it does. And the passion fruit, I was just like thinking like mojito, and passion fruit just was like an exotic flavor that came to my mind, and I was like, I think this would be really great.
Nice.
I think it's a big swing, and it sounds like it's paying off. Big risk, big reward.
I mean, Yeah, well, I mean, once we become profitable, I mean, this is all self-funded now, so we're about to go into a second round of more bottles. Then we're going to get into cans, but I foresee this being, a pretty large opportunity as we scale. I mean, like I said, we've only been in the market 4 months.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, I was just talking about the flavors because I mean, typically when you think mojito, like you think of just the lime and the mint, but like when you had like the passion fruit, something like that, like yeah, that's really
And
awesome.
that's like how with the Moscow Mule, I knew I wanted a mule. Like I feel like these 4 flavors are like kind of like your typical 4 main drinks that when you see like at a bar, any bar, with a cocktail menu. And with the Mule, I was like, I just knew black cherry was a popular flavor in like any beverage out there, or seltzers or anything. So I was like, but I don't want it to taste like syrupy or like a fake black cherry, like a cough syrup, So they worked really, really hard on that flavor and also the ginger beer flavor because some of those can be like hit or miss too. So I'm really happy about it.
I have to say, as a child of the 90s, black cherry Jello is like the elite flavor of Jello. And like if something's cherry flavored, but I'm like, if there's a black cherry option, like that's always what I gravitate toward because it's just like a deeper, I don't know, it just tastes better. It's just not as like cloyingly sweet. Like it just has that extra layer of depth to it. But man, I love a food pun. Like I can't get over a cranberry Cosmo knot. Like that's not like I think I'm gonna order one of each of these today. If they ship, I was like thinking like, oh, alcohol across state lines, and then I was like, oh yeah, it's not alcohol, so
we did that for a reason too, because it's 0.0 where it could have been 0.5.
Yeah, sometimes
like in O'Doul's or
Yeah, sometimes you get that NA stuff, and it's just like a point of a point of a point.
To where it was important for us, even though it was a little more expensive. We wanted to go 0.0, and we're glad we did. You can get it delivered anywhere in the United States, delivered directly to your door. We will be coming out with cans to make it a little less expensive on shipping. Obviously, glass bottles are a little expensive, but people that enjoy them, I mean, we're right in the market. Yeah. So, but we sell them in a 4-pack. You can buy the whole case. There's a discount to buy the 24-pack, but yeah.
I love that. I can't wait to get my hands on this. I do drink, but I have found, so I've been on a GLP-1 for type 2 diabetes for like 15 or 16 months now. So I find that because it slows my digestion, not only can I not drink as much as I used to without feeling like absolutely rotten. And I mean like very little, it takes like a drink and a half, but it's like, I never even get any of the buzz effects of the alcohol. I just feel like crap the next day. So it's like, not only is kind of like the fun gone, even though I like the flavor, it just affects me completely differently. So it's just like, nah. And then also, like, I think this will be really great for our listeners because we have a lot of people who listen who don't drink for moral reasons or have just never drank because they didn't like the taste. And I think this is like a different way to get, they're not looking for inclusion in that type of space necessarily, but this would just be like a fun, different beverage that they can have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
absolutely.
And you can get like 2 drinks out of them. That's with the twist off lid. You can make a drink or have a drink and then close it and drink another drink.
Yeah, you don't have to wait
7 days later is the shelf life after opening. So
absolutely.
And now that we're getting into spring, summertime, I mean, this is great to get them ice cold and just enjoy outside. If you got company over, even after like yard work. I know every year we barbecue, and our friends have switched over from like beers to seltzers. And I myself, I'm a huge sparkling water fanatic, and so I always want something sparkly, something bright, but something that's also not going to like really mess me up, especially in the heat. So this is something that
I think you'll love the lemon drop martini for that.
Exactly. Something like that would be refreshing outside. Oh, I'm all about that.
Yes.
Yeah. Our kids love the Cosmo. I think that's their favorite.
Something about kids and cranberry juice, man. Like
Oh, absolutely.
And that is probably pink too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Our daughter especially.
Everything looks kind of more fun when it's, in a little can, a neat little can or a bottle.
Right.
There's something alluring about like when a drink is cute. I don't know.
Well, that was a thing too. I mean, you can see the logo here. That's Alena. You know, she's, you know, like I said, she has a background in modeling for over 15 years worldwide.
Amazing.
We wanted that logo, and we were, you know, I think at first apprehensive just because we wanted to appeal to the male market also. But I think given that sort of like pin-up type look, it really
It's approachable.
it's very approachable, and the small stats that we have, the limited stats that we have, I think it's like almost 50-50 men versus women buying. So
Right.
yeah, and this looks really good on, you know, like a retail shelf versus a plain can, you know.
You're like the sober Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It looks like it.
Yes.
The bottles are really cute though.
Thank you. Yeah, we spent again.
We're starting to make the cartoon girl come to life, so I'm excited about that too.
Yeah, website.
Oh, that's super fun. I wanted to ask if have you thought about doing pairings in the city with chefs? Like, have you thought about doing any collabs?
Yeah, I've actually reached out to a few people, local chefs here, private chefs and restaurants. I mean, they all love us, and even using us as a base to cook with, they were interested in. So just coming up with all kinds of different ideas of how to use Mountain Mocktail and how to get our name out there.
What's nice about it is we have a variance of, you know, our customers. We're in country clubs. We're also in 7-Elevens. So, you know, we wanted to appeal to the masses. At first, we kind of wanted to be this elevated drink and only be in certain areas like speakeasies. But then we were like, you know, we came from nothing. So why not make this available to everybody? Right. And one of our first orders came from a local gas chain, you know, and their name was Cohen Markets. I don't know how far they spanned it. I think they're local to Pennsylvania, but we got into 7-Eleven a few months later in a few different states. So we developed distribution in different markets. And if that goes well, then who knows? I mean, the sky's the limit. So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But we're Whole Foods compatible too. Mm-hmm. You know, they've asked us to sign, you know, agreements with them to, you know, start the process. So knock on wood, that might, you know, we might pilot it here locally. But if, you know, something like that were to occur, then we can be, you know, across the country in Whole Foods, just because our ingredients, we use very limited ingredients.
Right.
Even though there is a little bit of a sugar in
the
in
sugar is like a soda. I was going to let you know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, our ingredients are we're Whole Foods compliant. I think we only have like 4 ingredients in each drink.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I almost feel like when I get these in the mail, I'm going to use them to flavor club soda, which just
Some
because
people do that,
for
We've
me, I just want like a little bit of a low sugar.
Yeah. Right.
You know, but I can't wait to taste these. Do you have any plans for other flavors, or is it a secret?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we have thoughts of it, but like I said, I think the can run is probably our next step.
Right.
And just like designing that, you know, we want it to look similar to the bottle, but its own kind of thing. But yeah, we're definitely thinking about flavors. I want an espresso martini for sure.
Oh, wow.
It's a matter of figuring out if we want cream in it or not. It's been a whole thing.
There's a lot of things that yeah, like with bottling or canning, it's just, you know, there's certain
getting that texture.
Yeah.
If, you know,
we don't want to put something out there that doesn't really mesh well, and if it doesn't, if for some reason, if it doesn't pour or taste well, we're not going to do it. But yeah, that's why we're going to try and grow the 4 that we have and see where we're at.
It's so hot right now, though. Espresso martinis, man.
It is. Yeah.
If you could do one with a plant milk, you're in.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll throw one out there. You know, a French 75. That's one of my favorites. If y'all can figure that one out.
Yep. Yeah, we thought about that. And what's the one for the Derby?
The mint julep.
Yeah, we'll
julep,
that too. Since we nailed the mint already, you know.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, the sky's the limit. And if you could get into the space where you're able to that is sold at those races, that would be
that's
insane.
what I was thinking. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And I think it looks classy with like the logo and everything. Like it just kind of goes. Put a hat on her, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to put a derby hat with a bunch of flowers, it's very, very much on trend for that time of year. I love that. I can't wait to try these. I'm so excited.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited to hear how you like them.
Yeah, please let us know.
It's a matter of which one you're gonna like better, I think. So
So go ahead, Steve.
I was gonna say I feel like the lemon drop's probably gonna be one of my favorites. Although I'm always a sucker for a good mojito, you know. But they all sound really, really good. So yeah, I'll be ordering them myself.
I love a mojito. I had two very not great experiences with too much ginger beer, too many mules in my early 30s. So yeah, no, yeah. I don't know, but I don't hate ginger beer. It's just now I steer away.
Yeah,
but I'm going to drink them. So,
this could be try it. Yeah,
my reintroduction.
See what your thoughts are. We'd love to hear.
This could be my reintroduction.
Definitely.
Well,
so where can people find you? Like, I mean, you have your website, right? Madam Mocktail. Where else can people find you?
Yeah, so right now we're sort of in the tri-state area. Like I said, we've only been 4 months to market, so our wholesaler's local here in Pittsburgh. We're just updating our website to show what locations we're in. But we are in a lot of retail. We're in distribution, like beer distributors, different restaurants varying across the city. We are in 7-Elevens across Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania. So we'll be updating that as we start to grow. But
it should be updated this week.
It should be updated this week. But www.madammocktail.com. People can have them delivered anywhere in the United States to their doorstep. And that's probably the easiest way for direct to consumer right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, being in Texas, I would definitely, websites, social media, things like that. Y'all got that as well?
Absolutely. We have Instagram, Facebook.
I just created a TikTok.
Which we're not as familiar with.
There's so many different platforms for it. So, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I'm old school. Like, I'm LinkedIn. So just on my LinkedIn, I have Madam Mocktail, and people seem to find us there. But Alena is more of the creator. I mean, she does all of the social media. We are hiring someone to help with that and assist her because she does it for both of our businesses as well. So she's been pretty open on the website and all that. So yeah, it's a lot that goes into it. But we're hoping, as we scale from direct to consumer, we can be in areas like yourself where we have distribution. That's something that we weren't as familiar with, like the different laws governing the states as far as, who can carry us. Luckily, we're 0.0. So there aren't as many, exclusive agreements, whereas we can probably get into more and more distributors that are local to your areas once we grow and scale.
Nice. I was going to ask if there were any special rules in Pittsburgh, like could you have grab and go, like a refrigerator with your stuff in the front of the grooming places? Like, just putting it out there. I don't know.
So, I mean, that's, we probably could. Something we should look into, yes. But absolutely. It's
nothing
noting.
better
we're in
than
coffee shops. We're
self-promote.
Right, exactly. But like a little mom and pop shops are carrying us. There's a little local farm down the road that has us that seems to be doing pretty well. But we were really shocked with the retail gas stations, how fast they picked up on it. Ones that are allowed to sell alcohol have really started selling a lot of NA products too. And we were one of the first to go in.
Which was awesome because then it's like more like readily available for anyone that's in AA or sober curious, whereas typically you have to order them and it takes a while to come in the mail, or you have to go to a specialty shop to find like all the NA drinks. It's not as easy, and having them in gas stations, you can just drive down the street and grab it.
There aren't many areas that don't just have like a 7-Eleven just at least somewhere, right?
Right.
I think
I mean, we're in a little subgroup right now, but if it takes off, then who knows? It could go national. But we're hopeful, knock on wood, that it does happen.
Now, getting into like the gas stations, things like that, like did you just go up to them and say, "Hey, we've got this really excellent product," things like that, or did you have to go higher up?
The first 2 months, we were out selling ourselves. I mean, just face-to-face meetings, driving around. I mean, we didn't even have a product. We had like
AI generated images of our product. They all had like a red liquid looking in them, and I was like, "This isn't."
Oh no!
The drink.
And we got 3 orders. It was crazy.
We did.
I didn't know what the price point was going to be. We didn't even have distribution. We didn't have a wholesaler that was going to carry our product. I thought I was going to have to rent a warehouse and. I mean, again, we had zero knowledge getting into the beverage industry. We were
just doing it.
We just did it.
Like there were thousands of bottles. Like we're like, where were they gonna go? And like ended up meeting a distributor, and they were like, we can carry your product, and we're like, okay, like hold your product.
I think
it was wild.
It's so interesting, like this sober curious movement, right? Like I think we've talked about it before on here. There's this, I won't call it a fad. That's really not the right word, but there is this trend that's growing called zebra striping. You know, this term. It's you drink a drink and you drink a water, and then which I'm like, hey, yes and no, right? Like all you're doing is delaying the inevitable, I think. But it's interesting that people who drink will seek out something that, you know, tastes like, look like, smells like product. It's kind of like when people are vegans, but then they like try to make cauliflower into wings, and it's like, well, it's not going to be a wing. But I think it's like, I don't know. It just fascinates me, right? It's like the reason that people seek out the products that they do. Whereas I think you guys are like, hey, we're not here trying to replace anything, right? Like we're just trying to be our own product. Oops, lost you guys. Where'd you go?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear us? Uh-oh. Oops. James, Alena.
Connecting?
Maybe. Pardon us while we have a little technical difficulty here.
Yep.
Oh, but our guest disappeared. I'm going to wait for them to try to get back in.
Yeah. But I do think you're right. Like on this, it's, you know, it's not a trend. It's not a fad, things like that. But like, it's definitely a lifestyle. It's something that's growing. It's definitely changed, you know, especially since we talked to like my buddy Philip from St. Louis. And even he was like, oh yeah, that's going to be the future of all this, you know? So.
All right, we're back.
Hey, hi.
Was calling us.
That's okay.
There was an emergency or something.
Sorry about that.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, my sister's in the ER, but she's okay. She's fine.
Oh,
yeah.
So hopefully we can cut that part out.
It was just like 10 seconds or whatever, but no biggie.
Okay.
I'm glad everything is okay. I was like, oh my God, was there a power outage or like what's going on? But no, Steve and I were just talking about like how interesting it is, like the reasons why people seek out, you know, particular products. But yeah. So yeah, this was a blast. We had a great time getting to know you all. Alena, I wanted to ask, while you worked at Ford, did you ever picture yourself being memorialized on the front of a mocktail bottle?
Not a mocktail, no.
Right.
No, because I was a pretty big drinker and like into like wines and all kinds of different things. But I mean, maybe like in 2021 when I came up with the Madam Mocktail name, I portrayed the Madam going into restaurants, but I never knew I was going to be like this cartoon character on an actual mocktail bottle.
That's
so
like
pretty awesome.
You got it. That's your editorial shot, right?
She's been on the cover of Vogue. At least she can.
Love
that.
But I didn't know I'd be on like the bottle of a mocktail.
Yeah, that's right.
Alcohol is like really, really prevalent in that industry, though, right? I mean, it's
huge. Yeah, it is.
I think everything's prevalent in that industry.
Yeah,
that's why I had to step away and come back.
Also the food industry, so it's okay.
Yeah.
So,
have you all done like trade shows, things like that, where you're just like kind of promoting your product, or is there plans for that?
Yeah, we have. We've done a few trade shows. We're getting into these markets now. That this summer, as these kind of like farmers markets are approaching. There's a lot of local stuff and festivals. It's self-promotion, and us two kind of being there, I think really accelerates a lot of the growth we've had, because people like to see, that we're the owners. We're the only two people that have ownership in the company. So it kind of makes it like.
Well, we thought about like hiring people to do this stuff for us, but like, I don't know. I just don't think that it will translate as well as it does whenever we both go.
That's true. We went to Miami with our kids. I have a 13-year-old and a 6-year-old from a previous relationship. And Alena's, just like their mom, they love her. But we went down to Miami Mocktail Fest, and I think it showcased really well. It was kid friendly. We had our kids.
We had our kids there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right, exactly. And they were all behind it. But it was, I think we were the busiest table there.
Oh, definitely. We had a lot of
established companies,
because I think people they could relate to us, and they wanted to come to our table and see, hey, what's going on over here.
And our kids were great about it. They were pouring drinks, like mocktails into. It was awesome.
Adorable.
Yeah, it was great.
There's something very much in my head, which I haven't been to Pittsburgh before. I've been to Hershey, and maybe I flew through Philly. I can't remember, but there's something in my head that screams Miami when I look at your cocktails and how colorful and bright they are and everything else. And there's something in my head about Pittsburgh that just says gray, which is probably wrong, but I think it's.
No, you're absolutely right. Pittsburgh's very gray and rainy, and we kind of do have that Art Deco type look. You know, I think it like kind of resembles like a more vibrant, fun atmosphere.
It was a hit. It was a hit.
I mean, every
if we could get distribution, if anyone's out there, Madam Mocktail, hi.
Yeah,
something about Miami just says like party time to me.
Absolutely. I mean, we went
I've only been to the
Las
cruise
Vegas.
port and the airport, and neither one of them were super great. So
we were out in Las Vegas just for like your birthday,
yeah.
just to kind of go and experience Las Vegas sober for me.
Yeah.
And I can't believe how much there is to do without sitting in a casino and being drunk all the time. I mean, I honestly was shocked. I was like, I've been here 10 times and I've never seen anything like this. This is great.
Yeah.
So,
but they love the mocktail.
They love it.
They're big on them there. The trends are coming around. I think they even do one of the pools does like a sober like a pull down.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Wow. Yeah.
I was going to say 110 pounds ago, I could hold quite a bit of liquor. And, but when I had to make lifestyle changes due to a thyroid issue and type 2 diabetes, I often have reflected like, man, it's really cool to be able to remember things too. Like remembering experiences is dope.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
and feeling good the next day, like you were saying.
And also not feeling bad the next day. It's incredible.
Most definitely. I can't tell you how many times that, you know, during the summertime, we've had a little too much. And of course, you're in the sun all day drinking and you just feel like just garbage, you know, at the end of the night. And you wake up the following morning just like, oh, why did I do that? You know, and having something like this prevents all that. And I love it. You know, like I'm looking at your website right now and I keep having to tell myself, like, these are mocktails. Like they look so good. It's just so professionally done.
I have somebody in my workplace that's constantly on me and love her to death, incredible partner. But she's like, have you had water today? And I'm like, I had an Earl Grey. I had a Diet Coke. I had some cucumbers with my lunch. I had an iced tea. She's like, but real water. I'm like, hey, listen, the science is not there that these things are so diuretic that they don't count as hydration. I see what you're getting at, but like, you know, but I'm the last person that's going to drink plain water. It's boring.
Yeah.
So I'll find other ways, right? Like we're talking about unsweet tea, right? Like we're talking about herbal teas. I'm like, these things count as water. And so when I think about something like Madam Mocktails, I'm like, this I could knock out in the summertime when it's hot and humid here in North Carolina and still feel like I got my liquids in, right? So, yeah.
I mean, we're not promoting. There are companies out there that promote health and like, you know, like
sure.
The feeling of that. And we wanted to kind of stay away from that market. We definitely wanted the bold flavors were the most important to us.
Well, I think the wellness market is just fraught with grifters. So I think that's like
a whole bunch,
the right place to be. But I'm so excited to have something that can just be flavorful and it doesn't have to be plain water and it could still serve a purpose.
Definitely if you're mixing it with a seltzer or sparkling water.
Definitely. For sure.
And our flavors are so bold that if you do just put a splash in, it's gonna taste amazing.
Well,
so go ahead. I was gonna say, so drinking them straight is also perfect. What's your favorite like things to mix with it that you all have found
like
so far?
Liquor?
No. It doesn't have to be liquor. Like anything to like stretch it out. You know, have y'all thrown anything like juices, things like that in there?
I don't think it's needed.
The only thing we've done, there's a non-alcohol store that's just primarily non-alcohol, and I, you know, just for me being sober, I've messed with like non-alcohol like spirits to mix in with that.
I call them faux
liquors. Yeah. But I think
this one they adding orange bitters. It turns it kind of into
like a bourbon.
Like a bourbon. Tastes like a bourbon.
Because I can imagine, like, if you're taking this to a bartender, their brains are turning like, what can I mix with this? What can I do? You know?
Yeah. So we're in a few speakeasies in the Pittsburgh area, and they're like mixologists.
Which we thought we would have no success in because they're all very proud about
starting from
scratch.
Nothing, and doing stuff.
But they love it.
But it makes their job easier.
Yeah.
I love it's so cheeky. Like I love the idea of a mocktail being in a speakeasy. Like that's I love that.
Yeah, and they're getting more and more requests for NA type drinks too. But even the country clubs and like the Duquesne Club that we're in, which is a higher end establishment, is a private club, they're utilizing all flavors as either a mocktail or a or a cocktail.
And they do a lot of banquets, weddings where the glass bottle is nice because of the twist off, the shelf life, everything after opening. You get 2 to 3 drinks out of it, especially if you are mixing it with like a 2-ounce pour of vodka. And it just gives an option for weddings, a mocktail or a cocktail.
Yeah, and it's super easy, and then you don't have to batch it, and you don't have to worry about the prep time, and to me that's a no-brainer. Yeah. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, because like us as chefs, like if you give us a product, like we're gonna try it as is, and then of course, like I said, our brains are turning like, okay, what can we mix with this? So I'm thinking like, okay, what could I do to make this kind of like a sangria, if you will, like fruit, things like that.
Definitely.
Cisco reached out to us, and we're going to be on their wholesale website for, I think there's like close to 1 million customers they have that are on this wholesale website. So I think in the next 2 weeks, we should be under Cisco as their only, I think, mocktail company.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
I wish you both nothing but the best. I think this is an incredible venture. I literally have my cart open. If I could share my screen right now, I have my cart open right now on madammocktail.com. But I can't wait to get this information out to the world, out to our listeners. You've been so generous with your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Just one last thing with Madam Mocktail. We are going to get to the 1 click. Right now, we're going through our wholesaler where there's a few steps, but I think in the next 2 weeks, we'll have 1 click to make it much easier and streamlined. So.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I'm going to get to test this in real time in just a few minutes when I make my order. But yeah, this is amazing. I hope to see you guys in all the grocery store chains across the country over the next year. So thank you for coming on the Food for Thoughtcast. For everybody who's listening out there, you know the drill. Go to thefoodforthoughtcast.com. You can see James and Alena's links to their socials, their bio, headshots, and everything else once the episode is dropped. So stay tuned, everybody. For Steve and for James and Alena, I'm Melissa, and we got to go. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you.
Stick around.
Take care.
Yeah. That's a wrap for today. Until the next episode of the Food for Thoughtcast, make good food, eat good food, share it, and be kind to one another.
Thanks so much for listening today. You are part of what makes us special, and we are so glad you joined us. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave a review. Just like food, delicious podcasts are better when you share them with others. Come back for seconds wherever podcasts are served, and we'll catch you in the next episode of the Food for Thoughtcast.
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at The Food for Thoughtcast or at www.foodforthoughtcast.com, where you can link to all podcast players, or you can send us an email at foodforthoughtcmc@gmail.com.